hell are you doing, you idiot? Did you even read what it said? Once you press that button, it locks the door for 40 minutes. Now, thanks to your stupid ass, we're stuck in here for almost an hour. Yes, really. Ugh.
Hey! Looks like everybody's closed their AB gates. That's the door to the AB room, silly. You're in the AB room right now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be continuing my earlier execution.
Now, let's get this party started! Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent. But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just fight everybody. Each round will be a one-on-one battle. Mono a mono, or mono a womano. Well, there are 2 people in each pair, aren't there?
So it'll be more of a 2-on-1 battle, I guess.
Now, I imagine you're all wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors. For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Alas and went through the cyan door, didn't they? That means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Alas. And it goes the other way too. Alas's opponent will be Siggy and Fido. Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy will be Tambioli. And B.O. and Quirk's enemy will be Mooney! Well, I guess enemy isn't really the right word, is it? After all, if you choose ally, then they're your ally.
What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry. Just listen while Zero the Third explains it all.
First, I want everybody to focus on the screen on the device in the back of the room. You should see A, ally, and B, betray on it. Do you?
All you guys have to do
is pick! Just pick one of those easy options!
maybe he will go up or down,
depending on what you pick. It's a little complicated, and some of you are a little slow. So, I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view. So, let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent. You'll get 2 BP, and so will they.
and you'll all get a nice warm fuzzy feeling inside.
We call that the best pals outcome. Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Next is what you get if you choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome.
Somebody did that to me like skin and stew with some taters. The third choice is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice, innocent opponent chooses ally.
This time, you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2. We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. And finally, the very last scenario. This is when you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you gets or loses anything. Absolutely 0 change in BP.
Boring. We call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most. You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you? Well, let me explain.
Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? Well, that applies here too. The two of you only get one vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray.
That doesn't mean you split your points, though.
You both get 3 points, or lose 2 points, or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get.
Okay then. I think that about does it for the basic rules. Well, actually, there's a little bit more, but
It'll just have to wait, I guess. Hush now.
it'll be okay.
30 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Anyway, I've gotta hop along now. Don't do something harebrained and wait until the last minute. You got plenty of time, so think it out. Bye-bye now. Have a nice trust!
About the AB game? Yeah, it's a tough call. This is really kind of an interesting game. Seems like it's based on the prisoner's dilemma. You've never heard of it? It's a thought experiment that uses game theory to examine why people do or don't cooperate. Let's say Apple and Banana have committed a serious crime. I just gave them the first names I thought of. They don't mean anything. Anyway, Apple and Banana are caught by the police and sent off to separate cells far away from one another. In other words, there's no way for them to contact each other. And they're not like telepaths or something. So that's the setup. You following me? So, a detective shows up. He visits each cell and tells them both exactly the same thing. Goes something like this.
You can both clam up if that's what you want. We're gonna have to put you both in the slammer for 2 years if you do. Now, if you flip on your pal over there, tell me everything. I can get your sentence reduced to 1 year. That means your buddy will serve 15, but that ain't your problem, right? Of course, if he decides to spill the beans, it's the other way. He gets 1 year, and you get to spend 15 years eating government cheese. You're probably wondering if both of you confess. Well, I can shave off a little time for saving me trouble, but you'll still both do 10 years. So, Puck, what's it gonna be? Gonna give me what I want, or you gonna keep that trap shut? Of course, I told you to partner, the same thing I just told you. I wonder if you can trust him to keep the cat in the bag. No rush. Give you plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah. What would you do? Say you were in Apple or Banana's shoes. Interesting. But you're forgetting something important. That Banana will be thinking the same thing. So you'll both confess, and you'll both end up serving 10 years. Do you get it? If you both trusted each other, then neither of you would have served more than 2 years. But because you both made the decision based on your own self-interest, you're gonna spend 8 more years in prison. In other words, the logical decision leads not only to a less desirable outcome on the group level, but also a pretty shitty situation on the personal level, too. You see now? The A-B game is the prisoner's dilemma. Yeah, but this is where it gets interesting. Let's say for a moment all 9 of us are on one team. Who would we be playing against? Right. So we can assume the 9 of us are fighting 0 in the AB game. If you look at it that way, what would we want to do to beat him? Just look at the point totals. Say we all picked ally. What would our total points be? Okay, now let's say one of the pairs chooses betray. Yeah. So, what does that tell you? Exactly. In this game, if each individual acts for the benefit of the whole group, everyone benefits. But if everyone starts looking out for themselves, it'll impact the group negatively. And eventually, it'll impact them negatively too. If all of us choose betray, then the group gets 0 points. Ultimately, nobody benefits. Not even the individual. In other words, selfish but logical decisions hurt everyone. And they